Hi guys, welcome back. So today we're going to be talking about the result of two companies, Bharat Wire Ropes and Control Print. Okay, so both of the result came yesterday. So let's see how it's done. So first talking about Bharat Wire Ropes, right? So if you look at the result in Q2 and Q1, especially if you had listened to the management commentary of Q2, the company has done exactly what the they have executed exactly what the management has told, right? Execution is on track. There's nothing problem with the execution. Again, it's not something like they have done something over or extra compared to just jo kaha wohi kiya. That is it. See, the first important thing for you to check whenever you talk about companies like Bharat Wire Rope is volumes, right? Because these people cater to, at the end of the day, B2B businesses, and they're in this commodity businesses, so they do not have a lot of power when it comes to pricing, right? As the steel prices, the aluminum prices will increase, they will be able to pass on the price to the customer. As it comes down, sometimes they'll have to take a price revision. If it is a value added product, they get even far more advantage, right? So that is the thing. And you have seen, right, over the quarters we are seeing that the steel prices falling down, the raw material prices getting under control and everything, and uske wajah se you're also seeing a margin expansion. Now coming back to the important thing, jo volume growth hai. If you see in Q1 they had a volume growth of around 15%. Q2 mein we saw they had a volume growth of 11%, and right now in Q3 jab hum baat kare, even there also volume growth is 10%. Now there isn't anything like how do I tell you, isn't anything negative or positive about it, because the management had told कि हम 10% से 10 to 15% से volume growth target करें, and that is what they have done exactly. 10% का volume growth किया है, right? The another thing to note down here is, you might wonder कि see, there is this immense demand, right, for the entire infra space, the infrastructure and construction space and everything, right? We are seeing a demand like no other. So why is it, in spite of all this, these people are able to clock in just 10% of volume growth? It should be more, because you're seeing other companies perform a lot more, in terms of volume growth. The reason is simple, because if you look at Bharat Wire Ropes, if you look at their capacity, even if you look at their order book also, right? See, if you look at Anup Engineering and all, their order book keeps increasing. Even some EPC companies, I know it's not like to like comparison, but having said that, you're seeing all-time high order books for many companies. But here you'll see that Bharat Wire only gives you visibility of order book for the next quarter, until the next quarter, jo 3 mahine ka they give you that order book visibility. And every time the order book is around 150 to 200 crore. If you go back and read the last 4 quarters, that is how the order book has been. The reason is because they have constraint in their capacity, right? That is all they can do. Because if they promise something, like if they take in more, and if they're not able to deliver it, it becomes a bad reputation for them. And you also understand that with these kind of industry, it is a very long process to get clients, acquire them, and maintain a relationship with them, right? So that is why, because of that capacity constraint, they can do only 150 to 200 crore, and hence the volume growth is only 10%. It will be in that 10 to 15% ka range. That is one thing. Even if you look at about their volume growth ka target, they had told in Q2, the management had told, hum log 45,000 ka megaton karenge, 45,000 metric tons we will do in by the end of the year. And by Q3 they have done around 31,000, I think 31,146. So almost all, again, that comes into the in the same guidance only, like they are almost doing it. The other things, if you see, is this revenue also. Revenue has grown by 8.8%. Of course, they're not getting that value growth, so wahan pe revenue, it's not growing at a higher pace. If you look at quarter on quarter, gata hai around, it's flat till you can tell 1.2% say. PAT also has increased around 39% on a year-on-year basis. PAT margin also has improved, if you see, compared to last Q3 to this Q3, 13 to 16%. EBITDA margin also is around 27%, because I think in 27 to 28%. Last quarter it was 26%, and before that, the year before that, I mean Q3 of last year, it was 21%. Now one thing to talk about PAT here is, of course, PAT आपको ज़्यादा operating leverage मिलेगा यहाँ पे, because steel prices का भाव is coming down, and they are able to get that because right, all these contracts happens over a period of 3 to 6 months. So by that time, until that contract gets revised, they get this huge operating leverage. That is one. The other thing of EBITDA margin is also a combination of all three. One is your raw material price, and they had recently installed this solar powers in their company, in one of their plants in Maharashtra. So as a result, the electricity cost and the power cost has been coming down, right? So that is the reason you're seeing expansion in margin also, like on a year-on-year basis, even for and by 2 percentage points, even for quarter-on-quarter basis. So nothing to complain about the result. Even if you look at their EPS growth also, EPS also has grown about around 30% on a year-on-year basis. So all in all, a good set of numbers, or I would say a decent set of numbers, since management has done exactly what they told. The only only thing I would like to wait and watch in the con call is one, to see if there is any headwinds, because last time के con call में बोला था कि like Europe में there is a slowdown, and US में there could be a possibility, because US becomes a very important geography for them, because वहाँ से ज़्यादा volume आता है, right? Because that is where also like a lot of construction things are happening. So that is something to look out for, and to see if they are increasing their guidance, if they are like, or revising the guidance because of these headwinds. This becomes very important to watch out for, because other than that जो भी बोलो, result is जो किया, like I told you, जो बोला है वो किया है, right? That is there. The other thing is control print. The control print में उतना कुछ बात करने के लिए नहीं है, right? If you look at their entire business model, उनका तो 80% सेल आता है वो मैन्युफैक्चरिंग करने से, वो प्रिंटर का, इंक्स का एंड अदर थिंग्स है, तो उसमें भी 63% आता है कंज्यूमर बिल से. देन ओवरऑल इफ यू लुक एट इट, 20% का आता है लाइक वो सर्विसिंग करते हैं, दे डू द सर्विसिंग ऑफ द स्पेयर पार्ट्स, सर्विसिंग ऑफ रिप्लेसिंग द स्पेयर पार्ट्स सर्विसिंग करने से जो प्रिंटर का है, because of that they get 20%. For me the result has been mediocre, because if you look at Q2, the management told कि like हम लोग 1.5x GDP से grow करेंगे, and then you're coming and doing a very flat QOQ sale, and even if you look at a year on year basis also, it is hardly 11% का growth. Very mediocre, right? I mean, you come in Q2 and you have done like the highest ever sale and everything, right? That is why you even see they had the stock also moved up at the similar rate, because it is the highest ever sale in Q2, right? And the management commentary is also positive. But having said that, they failed to execute it when it comes to Q3. Now God knows what has been the reason, if there is any problem in demand, because they are a B2B business at the end of the day. So अगर उनका जो भी client है वहाँ पे उनका problem हुआ है, so of course these people will also face problem. This is one of the biggest issues with B2B, right? You're always dependent on other industries to do well, right? So this you'll have to see why the management could never keep up the word, and why they only clocked it around 11%. Operating leverage भी नहीं है, because even PAT grew around only 10%. EPS का growth भी नहीं था. So overall very mediocre, very nothing great about control print, as you can tell. See, this also goes to show you like why tracking the result becomes very important, right? We saw in both the cases, Bharat Wire में भी देखा और control print में देखा, both result Q2 में भी अच्छा किया था, both of these companies, and both of them came with a great management commentary, right? Everybody were like, oh, demand is not blah 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 XYZ things. But having said that, Bharat Wire was the only company that out of these two I'm talking about, Bharat Wire was the only company that walked the talk, right? And if you look at control print, they couldn't, right? So that is why as an investor it is very important for you, I keep telling you, track, because the management can tell 100 things, but ultimately you're a business at the end of the day, you'll have to execute and show. Only when the talk is translated to execution, that is when your businesses will make money for you, right? That is the ultimate thing for anybody. So that is the thing, and we clearly saw that control print couldn't walk the talk, right? So we'll have to wait and watch to see why it did what it did. What is the problem? There could be some headwinds. That's that. That's it about Bharat Wire and control print. The other thing is like, aaj to I think I have around 6 to 8 companies ka result, mostly in the wire and cable segment, that is KAI, Havels, and some auto ancillaries. I shall do whatever I track today. I shall do a video tomorrow. I don't think there's anything else to talk about. Another thing is JTL ka I have to read con call and update the result. I mean, not update the result, read con call and then do a video of it, which I'll do tomorrow, right? So that's that. Hope you all have a nice day, and take care. Bye.